Friends, hello to everyone! Today we will talk about such an important topic as punishing dogs. Sometimes, in my other videos, you heard the term "the dog must be punished", and you always ask how exactly you can punish a dog. But I always avoid this question, because I think it is not very correct to voice it on social networks and on YouTube videos, because some people can incorrectly use certain recommendations and offend their dogs. Therefore, today I would like to explain to you a little what punishment is and why it should not be used. Some people believe that punishment does not work well and that it is possible to achieve a certain result thanks to it. But in reality, unfortunately, this is not the case, and punishment is a very effective method. Many specialists use various methods that are completely unpleasant, but nevertheless achieve some kind of result. What is punishment? Punishment is absolutely anything unpleasant for your dog. The least punishment is probably to raise your voice at the dog.
You have won this antique crystal decanter worth over 10,000.
Oh, okay, I take it back.
Either turning away from the dog and walking away, or not giving something to the dog. Or more serious things. There is some kind of physical influence. This is when the dog is beaten, when the dog is worked with chokes, when the dog is worked with the strict collars, when the dog is worked with electronic collars. In fact, in the canine world, there are many things that people invent to use with their dogs. Why? Are people really that evil and are they really that stupid? Actually, no. It just works. This works because punishment is the easiest way to win a dog of something. For example, we go with the dog with the command heel when the dog goes out of position next to it. I use some kind of punishment. For example, I make a jerk with the leash. The dog understands that when he goes out of bounds, it is bad for him, so he doesn't go out anymore. A lot of people just don't want to get too long way. It's much easier for them to show the dog, don't do this, this and that, and they use different techniques that are unpleasant for the dog. And you will ask me, what can be done like that and why I don't tell about it? Because any punishment has a very negative side. First, the dog stops trusting you. If you spend some time to create a good contact with your dog, and then you take and hit your dog, a situation may arise that the dog will distrust you. The dog can feel fear, be under constant stress, so the more you use punishment in your interactions, not necessarily training but interactions in general, the worse it affects your dog's psychological and physical state. In many civilized countries of the world, all cruel training methods are simply prohibited, and if someone sees your dog in a strict collar or in electronic collar, you will simply be disqualified from all competitions, all exhibitions, and may even impose a serious financial penalty. Whenever you want to offend your dog in some way, remember one simple thing. There are 1,000 different ways to solve any situation, any problem, or teach your dog any skill, and there are 1,000 different ways to do it positively. Ask yourself, have you checked all the methods? Have you tried all the methods? Actually, no, because people just don't know them. They don't know how to teach a dog not to jump on you. They don't know how to teach a dog not to pull on a leash, or how to teach a dog not to bite your hands. Their baggage of knowledge is small. They tried one or two methods. It didn't work, and that's it. The dog needs to be punished somehow. This is not true at all. And this is exactly why am I making these videos for you. So that you learn, and so that the weighty baggage of knowledge is replenished. And therefore, I very much ask you to subscribe and tell your friends who have dogs, or maybe who are planning to get one, a dog, share these videos, ask them to subscribe to the channel to gain this knowledge. and so there is more understanding and more ways for them to know how to teach dog certain things.
знімаю ролики ці для вас, щоб ви вчились і щоб ваш багаж знань поповнювався. І тому я дуже прошу вас підписатись, будь ласка, і розказати вашим друзям, у яких є собаки, або може які
Punishment is the best method to win a dog from a certain behavior, but before winning the dog, you must first teach it. Let me give you another example. You came home after work and your dog jumps on you, and you immediately think, how to unteach a dog to jump on you? Have you thought about how to teach a dog to sit in this situation? You are walking outside and your dog is pulling on the leash, and you think, how to unteach a dog to pull the leash? Think about how to teach your dog to walk on a loose leash. There are 1001 ways to do it positively. We have food, we have motivation, we have some kind of social reward, we have toys, and we can show the dog that every time you do something good, you get a reward. When the dog realizes this, he will try as hard as possible to please you. And relationships. Remember that all your interactions related to punishment push the dog away from you. The dog will distance itself. The dog will ignore you. The dog will not trust you. The dog will avoid you. The dog will feel constant stress, and this can have a very negative effect on its mental and psychical state. Insider advice of this video. First, try all the methods that work positively. Then, if you could not do any of this, only then think about some kind of punishment. But for this, it is better to work with a dog trainer who will be able to assess the condition of your dog from the side, because you can miscalculate your dog's strength and severely damage your relationship with your dog. Well, as an example, I would like to cite a large number of different interactions, sports competitions, where dogs are not insulted in any way. This can be seen and understood by body language. If the dog is cheerful, if it wags its tail, if it has a smile on its face, most likely it was not offended ever in its life. But when the dog is very obedient, but his tail is under his stomach, his head is down, and he looks very gloomy, most likely some bad methods were used with him. Ask yourself, what do you want from your dog? I wish good to everyone.
собачок ніяк не ображаю. Це можна